Alright, so welcome everyone to Collection Shopping Advice, or better known as the title I wanted to give it, Waifu Trophy Collecting 101.
Woo!
I don't know what is.
My name's Kayla. I've been figure collecting for about, I think, better half of like 3 years. So I'm pretty much here to talk and...
My name's Nico. I've been figure collecting for maybe like 5 or 6 years, but I haven't gotten serious about like caring about collections and things like that since maybe two years ago. So
yeah, I've dived in head first and my wallet hates me for it. So I'm here to tell you so you can start off or help you if you already had. So I'm going to start off with a disclaimer. I will be covering some bootleg figures in this panel, but unlike some other ways that I've seen panels like this done, I'm not going to go into like the heavy history of bootlegs, or I'm not going to like call out any names of anyone who has any, or anything like that. I'm not going to slander anyone who owns bootlegs or wants to own them, because I completely understand people's plights for monetary issues. I completely understand it if you want to buy them, because some of them look hilarious, and I will show you 2 of my favorites that I personally would own like 5,000 of. So we'll get to that, but I will tell you, I'm here to educate you, because I don't want anyone leaving this panel being like seeing a figure and thinking it's legitimate, then end up finding out it's pretty much like worth nothing, it's a bootleg, and feel like really like cheated. I want to avoid that. So the panel's goal is to inform potential beginners about the ways they can start their collections, as well as to possibly give experienced collectors new tips, tricks, and to enhance what they may already have. So let's do this. So what will be discussed? We're going to be discussing figures. I have a bunch of like the more common type of figures you will see around conventions and online. I kind of put them in like an arbitrary price range scale to kind of give you an estimate of like how much they would cost, what you'd be looking to spend. And we're going to work our way up from the lowest to the highest, explain some that get way too pricey.
yeah.
And I'm going to explain pretty much the pros and cons of each type of figure. We'll be discussing bootlegs, like I said, a short explanation of how to see how to differentiate a bootleg from a real one, so you know you can identify one online or in person.
Just so you know what you're buying.
Yeah. And then shopping, I'm also going to give you a list of recommendations of places and ways you can shop, so you can find the best merchandise that you possibly can. First off, I have this information slide. If anyone right now wants to get out their phones, take photos of it, this is going to be like information that I use daily on a basis when I'm looking at stuff. I will also, if you want me to put it up at the end, just to do another picture take, but I encourage you to take photos during this panel if you want any of this information, because it seriously has helped me out, and it's good reference for anyone who's starting or still going, and if you don't know any of these sites.
I highly recommend you guys take pictures of this, because Kayla is a figure buying goddess. So this is like her personal tips and tricks. So if you want to make your wallet hate you less, you should do that stuff. Plus you can find some really rare items on there if you're willing to scour it. So take pics.
Right. I put in a lot of hours, too much, to actually try to tell looking at stuff. So it's good. So is everyone good? Pictures taken? Wait.
We can always put it back up again.
Okay.
Later, you guys.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right. So first up, I'm going to start with myfigurecollection.net. This is the all be all for figure collecting. If you don't have or know about this site, please make an account right now if you're interested in figure collecting, because it is seriously the best thing. It is the lifesaver. Personally recommended to me when I started by talking to someone at a booth at ASEN, and it's changed my life completely. Myfigurecollection.net is fantastic. It's a giant database of a huge amount of any kind of like anime merchandise, figures. If you're looking for like just specific plushes, it'll have it. If you're looking for keychains, it'll have it. It's great. You can type in, you can look by the companies, you can look by the characters themselves, you can look by, if you're just looking for like one, you just love one company's for like certain type of like releases, you can search just stuff that they've done. You can search by what years are coming out. It'll have stuff that hasn't been released yet for pre-order. Anything that comes from Wonder Festival, which is held in Japan, which talks about new figures coming out. It usually is always quickly updated, and it's all fantastic information. It also, right there, if you can see where it says the various counterfeit, it'll tell you if the bootleg has any counterfeits or bootlegs out there. They also have pictures that are posted of the bootleg, so you know what to look for, as well as their own users. All the users on here that do sell are verified, and it'll give you other websites you can check out in your own time. Those are all completely verified to have official figures. And it'll post all photos of people who do have accounts and have this figure. They'll take really nice photos, and it just gives you a good idea of what's out there. It'll tell you the releases, how much it came out for, so you can tell if something that you see online is like a $50 figure, but someone's selling for $500. you can check this and be like, it's a little high.
No, that's
as well
way
as so, and also tell you if there's any pre-orders. It just gives you all the information, and it's honestly the biggest lifesaver.
Honestly, not even just that. This site's cool for like, you can join like fan clubs and communities. It's a really cool community hub for not only just like figure and product collectors, but like anime fans in general. You can have friends on there, and there's lots of forums and clubs you can join, and they have their own like little marketplace that I bought like figures from people that just have accounts on here, and you know, you can haggle that way and find some rare figures. It's just like a cool place. So.
Next, we're going to go into types of figures. So I'm going to start this off by talking about gashapon and trading figures. Trading figures and gashapon are generally like these small swing charms, anything you get that are like smaller sets. If they're from a gashapon, they usually come in this top right picture, like the little eggs, and in the middle is a gashapon machine. They're pretty much, if you don't know what they are, they're in Japan. They're similar to how the American like crank like machines are, except how we put in 25 cents to get like a face ring. You put in like 100 to like 500 yen, so like roughly $5 US, and you put in, you can get pretty cool anime stuff. They have these entirely in the walls, like lined full of them, so there's a whole bunch. The pros for any of these smaller figures are that the licensing for them are huge. So if you don't see like a really nice scale figure, which we'll get into, of your favorite character, you can probably find smaller ones. They are smaller, so another pro is if you don't have a lot of space or to display, or you're just not like ready for that yet, and just want something small to show your avid interest, you can get these because they're great on saving. They're also like cheaper, so they won't hurt your wallet as much and won't make your parents hate you as much for buying too many. And I like them a lot. I have a couple. They are though, I put it at the 5 to 15 individually because the Umaru set is one you can see at the conventions. And those are all from Good Smile. They usually, if you see any like little trading like blind boxes, those will usually have trading figures. So those you can find anywhere in those range. And they come in all stage sizes. You can have little sand ones, you can have, again, swing charms, and there's just a lot of variety and availability for them. Okay. Next, if you're looking, we have prize figures, usually done by Sega. And typically, figure collectors, you either like them or you hate them.
They're love or hate.
Yeah, we both love them.
Yes,
I think they're great. Some people don't like the paint jobs that have on them, but I think for like what the price range are, that it's actually pretty fairly done. They're usually typically prize figures are made to be put in Japanese arcades. They usually have little punches on the side, so when the claws, they will grab into them, and you can get them. Due to the fact that you can really only get prize figures in arcades in Japan and then see them online, so you either have to win them or be a part of an arcade and sell them, then you can find the prices. Usually they're fairly cheap, so put them in the 15 to 35 range. They can be sold higher, especially if it's a discontinued figure that the run's been like out and it's not in any arcades at the time. But I like them. Again, they're typically, you know, fairly sized. They're about like as big as this cup, roughly. They compete really well with nice scale figures, so you're gonna get a really good looking, you know, figure for not a terrible price. And as well as if it's not a really big figure, again, you also have that Sega prizes and other prize figures definitely go well in hand with picking characters that aren't mostly going to get a lot of merchandise. So, like for example, the two bears, I love them, but we'll probably never see something huge from them. But I have these and I love them. So if you're into something, you want a nice size figure, a really cool display piece, these are something that you can check out and will totally could be up your alley. Next set are Charforms and Kipochis. These are, if you've seen anything Nendoroids, we'll get to those in a little bit, these are pretty much modeled off of the style. They're kind of new on the scene, and I like to put them in there because it's a good medium. They are smaller figures, and the difference is with the Charforms, they are like set alone, like one stance. So once you have them on the base and everything, they're not really going to move. There isn't any like posability.
They're static.
But they do offer really cool poses, and I like the style because it is very reminiscent of the chibi style. And I personally own some of them, and they're actually really fun. I like collecting all kinds because I'm insane, so I think they're great. Kipochis are also really interesting. They kind of mix both Nendoroid and Figma style. They have more joints, so they do posability. Mine are still in pre-order, so I haven't actually gotten any yet to test how fragile it is or any joints. but I know I have looked in some of the past ones, they actually offer like actual fabric clothing. So if you're looking for something with more of a doll aesthetic, to look like a like actual doll and not more of an like just rigid plastic anime figure, you can look at that.
It's kind of where like ball joint dolls and like just static figures meet in like a weird, small, cheapy form that you don't have to pay $1 million for.
Next we have Figmas. Figmas I put in the 35 to 55 range is a typically good price. You'll find them. They're everywhere at conventions, everywhere online. A very popular style. Again, I really like these. These are the ones that the Kyupochis are heavily, I think, in my personal opinion, modeled after because they have singular ball joints. They come with a lot of good variety, really good for like action stances or posing. They offer a lot of different flexibility. They have the one base, so unfortunately you can't add different bases for it, but you can still take them off. I've seen a lot of good action shots done with these. They really are kind of fragile.
Yeah, I personally am not a fan of Figmas. I've had some where I have bought them and just taken them out of the box to flex their joints, because when you get them, you're supposed to gently like move them around to get some air between their joints, and I've had arms snap off by like just gently touching them. So I really don't really like how it really depends like on how lucky you are, because I have Figmas that are like over 10 years old and they're just fine, but I bought a Kaido Figma from the Vogoid ones, and seriously, like I breathed on his arm and it snapped off, and you can't fix it. So, what's up? Yeah.
I wanted to mention also that in my experience, sometimes the body forms will actually almost be unique to each Figma.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll be unfortunate that the socket shape was just not tested well enough.
Yeah. Also, my stands are pretty fragile. The stands are pretty cool because they have like these weird stick things, and they have joints on the sticks so you can adjust the stand that way. But every stand I've had for a Figma has snapped off into the Figma's back, like the little peg. I don't know if that's just because I'm too rough with them or what. I just have really bad luck with them, and it bums me out when I have a broken piece of a stand inside of my figure. I paid
I
like
like to
55
replace
bucks.
them with SH Figuarts stands because those like clamp around the waist.
Oh yeah, that's
And
a good
I'm
one,
like,
too.
I usually don't use the ones.
Figure Art's really good. I find I have a difficult time reposing those. I didn't put them in this one because they're not as popular in my opinion as Figmas are.
Only if you really like Sailor Moon and
Ramencon one
Dragon Ball.
has.
That's what they're only known for.
Yeah, no, I think they're really good. I haven't had any problems with breaking them. I think they're great for posing, especially with giant figures. It's also really cool to have. They are a bit smaller than most of like the Sega prizes or bigger figures, but they're still, I think, a worthwhile investment. So just as your caution, if it's your thing, you like posability, these could be for you. And the Nendroids. These are arguably, in my opinion, the most popular, most well-known figure that we have on this list set because everyone knows them. They're everywhere. I already went to the hall and I saw these sold all the time. I love the Nendroid style. Some people don't like it if you don't like the chibi style. These are the ones that the Kyupochis and the chart forms I think are modeled off to because it's a very iconic style. All these are made by Good Smile, so they're all really, really well done. The paint apps on these are amazing, in my opinion. It goes really in depth with each character's customized ability is fantastic. It offers different facial expressions, which we'll get into. It offers a lot of like really good color shading, as well as there's usually done once you have one character, you're gonna get like 2 or 3 at least for our series. So you can do cool sets, cool like posing with them, and I think that there's something that is, if you like it, definitely go for it because once you get one. So you can see these photos, you can change them.
Yeah, there's a lot of accessories and cool stuff you do. Also, you do a lot of fun dumb things.
Yeah, you can make Miku the Colossal Titan or whatever is next to that. You could put Robert Downey Jr. from the Nendroid for Iron Man as Elsa, and he looks like he has some PTSD.
A lot of the parts are all like interchangeable for Nendroids, like the face.
The face will come off. Some hair pieces and accessories.
They're all
changing.
They're all shaped similar, very similar, so you can stick them in random other Nendroids' bodies and create holy crazy monsters out of Nendroids.
Those.
Yeah.
Just watch out with it. It has some of the older ones will not be as changeable, but all the modern ones you're going to see the on sale or at the hall will definitely be mixable, and you can do that in your free time. They also, when you see the top picture we have is Sakura Miku, As I was saying, she comes with three different expressions. She gives different hair pieces, different items she can hold, different hands for different sets. So they offer, Good Smile is really generous with that. It goes in hand. They know people love it, so they definitely provide. Also for your extra pieces, you can either get more to do even more.
Yeah, they have like
things.
special sets that you can just buy, like these little wings and hearts and stuff.
That's like an angel devil set, so I've seen that on a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Those will work on virtually all of them, unless the older ones are kind of iffy, because they did revamp their style.
Yeah,
I
they
think
did.
like around like the 90s it changed, like the number 90s and up. Will all should be.
They're all numbered.
Yeah.
So you can easily keep track of them by their number too, which is kind of cool. They also, some of the older ones I know, I have a lot of older ones, they used to come with just blank faces and then like rub off faces. They'd give you a big sheet so you could literally customize whatever faces you want out of, you know, a set number of facial expressions. So that used to be really cool. I don't really think they do it that much anymore. I've never tried rubbing off and making my own faces because I'm paranoid of messing it up, but I always thought that was cool back in the day when they did that.
And then for the extra faces, I also have a picture of their stands. They also have like little sleeping bag things, so they have a lot of different parts where you can store your extra pieces in, and it just gives you a new fun way to like have two versions essentially of the same character.
And then these are real action heroes.
We're getting into top tier.
Yeah, these, I love these. I only own two because my wallet cries, but they're really great. They're big. They're about, the ones I have the Kaoru and Shinji from Evangelion, their school uniform ones. I don't have any of the crazy expensive ones. I wish. So they're about maybe this big. They're kind of more like dolls. They're kind of more like ball joint dolls in a way. They're very posable.
Very posable.
Very, very posable. I had mine.
You gotta say
Yeah, we had. Oh, they're so fun.
Yeah, every time I go to their house, I change up the Kaoru and Shinji into different clothes.
I think I have a photo of the customer. They did it where they were both dabbing. So
Yeah, I have that one. The cool part I think about them is that all of their clothes, most of the time, except for maybe like, you know, mommy stockings or small things like that, are actually made out of fabric. That's a really nice detail I like. They do a lot of like good work on the tailoring, even though they're like this big. Their stands are really nice, and they're just high quality figures overall. So you're gonna look at spending like $100, $150 to $300. Some of the older ones or rarer ones or more popular figures can go beyond $300 easily. There's a Hatsune Miku one that's like, I don't even want to think about it.
I haven't gotten into these because
Yeah,
no.
don't. I made the mistake of getting. I bought the two. That's it. I got them both for $90 each, which is like a steal. I'm amazed that I got them. But after that, I regretted it because this is like getting into the big your wallet's gonna murder you category of collecting things.
Now we're gonna move into like the kind of more arbitrary where I
Yeah.
didn't really try to give you a price range because they can vary very much vary, and we'll tell you why. So we're gonna start with scale figures. They are various size scales, and they're all based off of the character's height for which scale model you're going to be getting. And the prices, why this is in the arbitrary category, is because there's so many different types of scale figures, and it all depends on like the licensing, who the character is, how popular, what the detail, like the sculptor, how it went into. Does it have a really big base around it? Who's the one who's producing it and selling it? Because
Who actually sculpted it? Like who was the actual artist that made the sculpt? Things like that.
Yeah, how many times it had to be redone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that goes into this, so much detail that go into these scale figures. The prices are crazy, especially once it releases. If you're gonna find like that Madoka right there, that's the entire size of like IKEA Detolf. That bad boy is going for a good couple hundred right now.
That was getting
over.
scalped in prices when it first came out. Like people were going crazy for that. It really just depends on.
I still dream about it.
Yeah, that figure's like
she's a
legendary
fever
now.
dream.
Yeah, that figure's like good luck.
Right. She's also apparently an entire dust collector,
Yeah.
so watch out. So our really popular ones up for scale figures are the 1/10ths, the 1/8ths, and the 1/7ths. We have some more. These are good representation of like kind of what you can get. The Beach Queens over there with the Mirai Kuriyama. She is really popular. That's a really good series. And then I have her picture next to her 1/8 to see like it does get higher in scale because it's based off the character's height. So if you put 8 of her in a stack, you get the size of Mirai in actual life. And then we also have the Len by Tomi, and he's beautiful.
My beautiful figure that I want so bad. Please.
There's also a 1/6, 1/5. Again, there's a bunch of different posing in these.
Don't call my wife.
Yeah. The Waifu Trophey collecting. They will hurt you. But yeah, there's different poses. The Igus one, she's really popular, and she has really good action features and a really nice base. And these are all can be found for roughly, if you're gonna get a scale figure of like any of these sizes, I kind of would put it in like real good day, you're finding them for like 60 bucks. On a bad day, you spend hundreds, and I'm so sorry. Then we get into the big bats.
Yeah, the big boy.
We're getting
I want that giant Sonico.
Yeah, the half
The
scale.
stuff of legends.
I was almost personally offended when I saw this picture of the Miku because they're using it as a headphone stand.
Yeah,
Dear,
that's disgusting.
That's like $250 or more.
Yeah, I could imagine that would easily go for like $250
Well, I mean, it's
or
like
above because
multi-uses
it's
with
Miku,
that.
and
Oh,
this
yeah.
person has the audacity to be like, oh, let's just write my headphones.
I know, I've seen pictures of people who own 3, and I'm like, how do you exist? Where's your bank? And can you be my dad?
What's your routing number?
Right? Yeah, no, so you get into the 4th scales, and I mean, this thing doesn't even fit in cases unless it's custom. This
Yeah.
fits on top of Detolf's, or like actual cases. So you have to like definitely have a big showcase experience for these because they're high in demand in both price and size to show. Half scales are even more intimidating because when you 4 scales, you're looking at, you know, a couple hundred. Half scales, you're getting to like almost 1,000.
Yeah.
Especially that Sonico, a very popular one. And I mean, next to the guy, how many boxes are piled up won't even meet its height. That thing's ridiculous. And he fits an entire display case. So you're looking at easily looking at getting to $1,000 for those. So
Sonico's weird because it's been fluctuating in price recently. It's been dropping from 800 to 3,000.
yeah.
It really just depends on the demand.
Yeah, it
and
depends on the seller who's
who's
doing
selling
it,
it.
what's going on. Prices fluctuate for figures all the time. But it gets worse because then
That's not even.
they have full size, baby. Oh man. Oh.
If you ever wanted to make out with anybody from Evangelion, here's your dream come true if
all
you
it,
have the money.
all it takes is about $6,000 to $9,000 and you're sold. Also, he did leave, but Shoe Lover was in there for the guy who was.
Oh no, Brian's right there.
Oh, there, no, yes,
Yes,
Brian.
Brian.
That's it, just for him.
He hates Shoe Lover.
So yeah, these are great. I don't know where I would put one or get the funds to have one, but they're dreams.
I would put it in my bed with me.
Same.
Make its own bed. I don't want to touch it. If I get one scratch, the
If I
world's
spend
gonna
that
end.
kind of money, it's gonna be like my friend.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna marry into
We're
it.
gonna have dates.
Actually,
Yes,
that's the money
it's
if
gonna
you
be-
have like a reusable graphic.
So yeah, these are good dreams, but unrealistic for my current situation. But if I ever get a credit card
Oh my god, no.
and I see a right time, don't do that.
I've also heard things like you have to buy a ticket to enter a raffle, and then you have to win that raffle in order to have like even a chance of buying the figure, the life size. That's happened with at least one that I know of. I've also heard some rumors of it happening with like the Evangelion ones, but I'm not so sure. So that's crazy. You have to actually buy a ticket to win to pay for a figure. Jesus.
Yeah, I wanted to inform you, tell you if you can get it, please let's be friends.
Yeah.
Next we have Ichiban Kuji. These are very
These are really
arbitrary
cool.
because all Ichiban Kujis are raffles. They're all done in Japanese convenience stores where you can buy a ticket. I don't really know the exact price because it really depends on what the store is and what the promotion is, but they're typically very cheap. So you're basically paying like, we'll say at least like $10 for one ticket to be put in this raffle, and you could end up with a really nice figure for nothing.
Yep.
These are really good, very similar to the prize figures. So you're looking about figures like yay high from this table. Ichiban Kujis, how they're scheduled is you're going to have different price levels and tiers, all alphabetically sorted. So you have really a very slim chance of getting these figures in these raffles. You're usually going to get like the D's, the E's, and the F prizes, which are usually like stationery or stickers, which are still really cool. But like, come on now, we want that figure.
$10 for a sticker?
Like,
$10 for a figure.
yeah. So I have a couple examples of like a Naruto one and an Evangelion one that were done. So you can see they're giving away cups. So it does give you some really cool stuff. You can take little tiny figures that are given. But typically, if you look at the box array, if you see anything with like the little diamond pattern in it that's the Ichiban Kuji logo, or if anything that has a really big letter on that, it's typically a prize from one of these raffles. So these are very arbitrary because you can find them on sale online very dirt cheap because someone doesn't either understand how hard it is to kind of obtain
Yeah.
these, or honestly has a bunch because they're really lucky and how dare they. So, or else you'll find them and they know where they are and then how to get them, and the import fees and everything will, like, you can find them for really pricey for the lottery. So you really just have to kind of play and, you know, judge. Use My Figure Collection. It'll tell you if it's Ichiban Kuji, and kind of see like what people in the comments are offering for it, and kind of like judge how much do you like this character. Is it really worth the money? Do you really like the paint and the sculpt? Take into that in consideration when you're looking at anything by Ichiban Kuji. Next we have Garage Kids.
Oh boy.
These, basically, it's how does this go to this? You get it. Garage Kits are unpainted and you have to
put together.
not put together. So that beautiful Princess Fuji right there was in that bag.
Is that gray mass of plastic. And somebody just made it and painted it
And
from there.
they're amazing. These are very arbitrary because Garage Kits are very hard to obtain in the West. And once you do, I mean, I wouldn't have the skill to do that, I wish. And it could look like that, or if I did it, she'd probably have like 3 eyes and 2 noses.
Yeah.
Garage Kits are great, but they are very pricey and are very taking
You kind of have to know what you're doing with them to get a good product, and they're not cheap. You can't find ones around here that are like a reasonable price to practice.
I think this one at launch cost like $120 just to, and that's not even counting like you have to buy supplies to make it look
Paint,
like that.
you need like specific paints and all sorts of stuff like that. But the cool thing about Garage Kits are a lot of them can be kind of fan-made, or not made by like professional companies. So you're gonna get a lot of crazy stuff. You can get a lot of things of like characters or series that you never are gonna see. Like, I know there's like loveless Garage Kits of like Ritsuko, the main cat boy, who would buy them, just me, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah, I buy those. But like, you'd never see a company actually make a Ritsuko figure, or like if you have a series that's really unpopular that you like are in love with, you can probably find a Garage Kit for it, maybe.
I know for the Mirai that we were showing, the girl with the glasses, she has about like 2 actually official figures, and the rest she has like a billion Garage Kits. So if you can find one and you're really dedicated and have the skills, then like these could totally be up your alley. But spend a lot of money on it too.
And risk a lot if you don't have the skills. There's like no room for practice, honestly.
Next we
And
have
we have
Gunpla.
Gunpla. Gunpla are kind of like Garage Kits, but for robots. I love Gunpla. They're great. So the trays, that's what a Gunpla looks out, Strout says.
And those are the runners.
Those are the runners. And you make it into this robot. These are much more, I think, friendly, like beginner friendly than Garage Kits will ever be ever. Because these come with instructions, and even though they're in Japanese, they're pictures, and it's very easy to see and figure out. I just picked up this hobby maybe a year ago, and I already have a whole shelf like crammed with Gunpla. The cool thing about Gunpla 2 is not only are they just Gundams, there's like Evangelion ones, Pabagor, Yokai Watch,
Alt Noah
Zero, like it's not just robots, and there's different levels of them. So the SDs are the really small, like chibi ones. They're the easiest and they're also the cheapest. And then you have high grade, real grade, master grade, and then I would say that other one is a perfect grade. Yeah, not a high grade. So obviously with each grade, the detail goes up, the like posability goes up, all sorts of things. Once you get to like master grade, they have like wacky stuff, like their eyes glow. You can like wire them to have like
glowing chest, glowing eyes.
Yeah, glowing chest, glowing eyes. There's some that are spring loaded, like they have wings, and the like wings fly up. But the downsides are you need some tools. You need these clippers. They're very specific. They're not wire cutters. They're model clippers. I would also suggest getting some sandpaper and what?
The sculpting knife.
Oh yeah, the sculpting knife and tweezers. You're right. I forgot about the knife. But those are like things you cannot make Gunpla without. But other than that, I wouldn't let it intimidate you. It's actually very fun and pretty forgiving if you mess stuff up.
Really easy.
Yeah, really easy, fun to learn. And these are customizable. They're really cool. There are actually contests for people that take these figures and then like repaint them and make all sorts of crazy stuff. And it comes to ACEN every year. It's the Gunpla Grand Prix, and they like give prizes for it. So if you're interested in like some mechs or stuff like that, Gunpla are great.
Yeah, they're great. There are some really cheap ones.
Yeah.
You can find really small ones, and they're really fun. They're easy to do. You can make little Gunpla parties.
Yeah.
We've done them, and
It's really
got
fun
me
to do
into
with
that.
people.
They even sell them at like Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, they're really popular, and
For-
they usually come in boxes where you pull the tops off. So if you see anything like those, I know that they're in the con
Yeah,
hall,
they have
so
some in the con
if you
hall.
want to look at it when you go next into there, I mean, these could be, they're totally fun.
For like the little one right there, you shouldn't pay more than like 15, but you can get them as cheap as like $6. What's up?
I wanted to mention also that if you get a older one, there will be a lot more painting.
Yeah.
The newer ones are better about dividing up the colors. The older ones, you'll have to do a lot of painting.
There's some that you don't even need to paint. Like a lot of the newer ones, you don't need to paint them. They come with stickers for like the important parts, like the eyes or like some of the decals and stuff. So those are completely like paint free, but you can paint them. They're very customized friendly, and that's the coolest part about them. I think is you can get this big, huge Gundam that looks super terrifying and paint it, put bows on it if you want, or you know, it's also there's a cool community for it too.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot of videos on it and looking at it, and I think they're really fun and worth it. Also, if you're looking and you do see them in a shop, you can ask the seller, and sometimes they'll let you open and look at it to see how paint heavy it'll be, how many stickers. So
How many parts?
Yeah. So you can see if you want to spend the money and take the time. But I'd be warned, once you do one, you're
It's addicting. And then if you're gonna start out, please, please, please don't buy a very expensive one, because the more expensive it is, the more complex it is. So start off with maybe like a high grade or an SD or a Yokai Watch one that's like literally 6 parts to get a hang of the hobby, and then like go crazy.
Right.
Don't like go gun hole and buy like a $300 Gunpla and do it yourself.
and have to do wiring
Yeah.
and be like, oh no.
Yeah, it takes practice too, so be forgiving.
All right. Now we're gonna talk about bootleg figures. Our favorite part, right? What y'all been waiting for?
Literally my life.
Okay. So how to tell if it's a knockoff or a genuine product. Basically, these are the keys, like details of what to look for when you're looking and see if it's a bootleg. You usually tell if it has poor sculpting or design. Usually, like items won't look right at all, or it's completely different from the actual one.
Tiny color discoloration.
Well, yeah, we'll look at poor, rough, glossy, or fake. Flat paint application. You don't want to figure, typically that if it's legit, you're looking for a real one that has really like glossy skin, or looks like they are looking into the void and it's back at them, because some eyes are just scary. If it has really thick seams where the plastic is connected, most of these bootlegs are done with reused parts that they get. So since it's been used a lot, the seams will be a lot thicker and very it's really rough. So if you're looking for a really nice smooth transition, it'll easily tell between bootlegs and real. Discolored or weak joints. I've seen some bootlegs that have, when you like bend their arm, it's like bright green, and it's like, that's not your color. So they just won't do like those tiny details. The box design, you'll usually find if the boxes for bootlegs are redone, they just screen print it onto a really cheap flimsy box, and it's really like dark images, really faded, stuff will be incorrect, and we'll get into that. I'll show you pictures and explain it. If you look at it, it's being undersold. If you're on eBay is the biggest offender for this. If you're looking to buy an Android and it's $15, I'm sorry, that's not going to be real. If you're looking to buy it because it's going to be hilarious,
Then go for it.
All these on Titan Androids.
we're getting there.
We're gonna see some fun Androids.
Yeah. So if the base of the standard figure is incorrect, there will be details, little like stamps on it of like.
We have pictures of those too.
We'll get all to this with pictures. So look at the bases and stands. If the figure can't support itself, there's some that literally like you put and it just collapses.
Quinn
You're
over
like,
here
no.
has a snow miku that they got for free from a seller for buying something else, and if you literally breathe on it wrong, the whole thing collapses.
Falls apart.
You can't touch her at all. She just like her head explodes off, her arms and like she's everywhere. She's
Like
dead.
if you just pick her up,
If
her,
she doesn't
her head
feel
will
like
come
it.
apart from her body, her skirt will fall, everything
Everything.
is just gone. It's the funniest thing
That's
I've
not
ever
uncommon
seen.
for bootlegs. They're very fragile because
That's the other Miku.
Yeah.
Also, that's the other bootleg Miku I have.
Okay. Also, check if the items that it comes with are correct. Sometimes I'll see bootlegs packaged with completely different items, as well as if there's supposed to be something that's transparent or really nice color gradient. Bootlegs, often the companies that make them, the people, they will not take the time to do that correctly. So it applies to select figures, and see also, again, where its purchaser coming from. If it's a listing on eBay from China, guaranteed not going to be real. So here's some pictures. number one,
The X with the blue is wrong.
yeah, we're gonna go red. Red is real.
circle.
So this is go by Jackie. Red is real. Just remember that. So this one, you can see the one in the blue. The top corners where the arrows are pointing, it doesn't have the Good Smile Company or the Nendoroid series like stamped or like little picture, their logo. It's completely missing. Telltale sign. If it doesn't have official like lettering.
Wait, let me recommend something.
Get back down because you're not in this panel.
Get the magnifying glass. Get the magnifying glass, and then click on one of the arrows that you like.
Yeah, look at that. How do I get out of that? Okay, so yeah, if it's if you're looking for
Oh, sneak peek.
yeah, sneak peek. Oh yeah. So anyways, we're not gonna play with those scales. So yeah, if it doesn't have anything that's like correct for the box printing and it's missing things like that that are really important to it, that's a bootleg. For the bottom one, if you look, it'll zoom in, and the actual snowflakes on that Snow Miku are embossed into the box and it has really nice silver foil on it. But for the fake, it's just screen printed on, and it's not the detail it's missing. So again, you're gonna look, have a keen eye. For this one, this is an example on the top of how the box is faded. If you look in the one on the right, that's the fake one. So again, red is real, so that's the left is good.
I actually have this bootleg. It's hilarious.
But yeah, if you see the background behind her, it's very black, like it's very like just straight black printer ink. As well as her skin is like, she's in Jersey Shore, she's orange.
Yeah.
She got too much sun. So again, stuff like that, where the pictures just, they look faded, they look really off, and it's not taken with like a professional, like they're all professionally done on the real boxes, and if it looks like that, then that was clearly just reprinted.
It's all just high quality cardboard and things like that too, high glossy JPEGs, what have yous, but the bootlegs don't have those.
On the bottom, these only apply to certain figures, but this is talking about where if it has a sticker. My figure collection, and if you look at the official, see the official artwork for the box, it can tell you if it has a sticker or not. Stickers are usually only on, like I find them on event exclusive items or limited edition stuff. So this will not be guaranteed for every single figure you'll see. However, if it's supposed to have a figure and it doesn't, then
sticker.
Yeah, sticker. It's supposed to have a sticker and it
Only
doesn't.
hope it has a figure if you're buying it.
Yeah. Then it might be a fake. This isn't, again, doesn't work for everyone because only certain ones have one, not everyone. However, there are different types of stickers and they've gotten pretty good at copying those.
Yeah.
So this isn't always the best method to look. It's just the thing to keep in mind. But if you do see one that's supposed to and then the sticker looks a bit off, usually they're darker when the bootlegs print them. Or if it's like a hollow one, usually they won't get the hollow with the image where if you were to like hold it up, there's like another image in it. They won't get that second image. So they're still working on it. They're getting pretty close to just regular sticker printing. This one's about if it's a completely different box. These two Amarus are fake, as well as that Elsa on the side. These two that I have here with the numbers, because Nendoroids are all numbered, those are all both official. So for what they did for these ones on the top, they're in little square boxes, and they basically took Umaru and printed her a billion times, and took each of the different faces that you get when you buy her and her items, and made each one of those their own separate thing. So technically, if you were to go after that series and want the entire set, you have to buy like 6 versions of her to get all of her items. Where if you bought the Good Smile, it just gives you everything in one. As well as the Elsa one.
Elsa for the Frozen.
But yeah, that one's completely different and doesn't come with nearly as number of items as it is. So if you see anything that's pink, Nendoroids are these. A lot of pictures are going to be Nendoroids because they're easily most noticeable, most fake.
Pretty much the ones that are most fake. Also with these kind of boxes too, I've noticed a lot of the times if you look on the sides, they have a lot of stolen fan art. That's pretty much with any kind of bootleg items. If you see obviously clearly like not official art in their advertisement, it's probably bootleg.
Yeah, I've actually seen these small square boxes being sold at ASIN once. So don't, if you ever see that, don't think that's an Nendoroid. They never come in small little square boxes like that. That's a dead giveaway. Okay, this is where we're talking about the bases on the top. The bootlegs right there are on the left are going to be all the fake ones, and it says made in China. It doesn't say anything about the company that made it. It doesn't say anything about the rights. Usually they've been pretty good. It's really hit or miss if the stands will be done correctly when the bootleggers do them. However, sometimes they just put made in China and just that's good enough. Keep it on its way. So we'll look out for that, as well as for the hat that's showcasing really with the snowflakes and on that hat. It has a really nice transparent middle with a nice color gradient, where the snowflake on that one is just plastic dyed light blue. Done. And about the weak joints that bootlegs typically have, the hat's supposed to stick up and be really cute, where the bootleg just falls.
It's a very sad hat.
Has erectile dysfunction.
Yes.
Alright, the top one's about faces. And that one is basically how the colors will be wrong on them. The skin on this right side, which is the bad one, is really glossy.
Yeah, glossy skin is a dead giveaway too. If you see any sort of shiny, really shiny skin.
You can't really tell unless you like stare at it, but the eyes are completely different. There's no highlighting in, so it's a very flat eye. And it doesn't really like have that life and that vibrancy to give that character what you want when you're displaying them.
Too strong.
And then the bottom is again an example of the seams and the parts of it, rough edges, where the top one, or the right one, is very smooth and nicely made because they want to make sure that you're paying for a quality product and you want to get the quality you should get. Where bootlegs are like, it's good.
Printed it, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, again, red is red. So on this Miku one, it's basically talking about on the tie specifically. There is, if you can't really see it, but there are some black smudge marks from when they were painting something else, and it just kind of smeared on it. So if there's like other colors that are just been smeared on or by accident, they'll like leave those and just consider it okay sometimes. So that's wrong. Also the snowflake. If you can tell, it's kind of wonky into the side. So that decal, when it was placed on there, wasn't like set up and lined to match perfectly.
Also, a lot of times they leave really thick lines on bootlegs. So like the thin little clips look very nice on the original, and on this one they just kind of like took a big fat brush and there you go.
Bootleg Miku looks like she's bleeding from the mouth.
She's sad about it.
Yeah, different facial expressions as well.
Don't judge her.
Alright, we're gonna cancel how you.
Alright. So, and then for the Umara one, her hair is supposed to go over her hood, where this one, it doesn't fit all the way over her. So it's incorrect sizing parts, and she's really stuffed. And then sometimes
These are self-explanatory.
these are kind of self-explanatory. This is where we get to, like, if you look at it, you're like, ah, and you can ugly. Yeah. And these ones are made into keychains for some reason, and they're not supposed to have keychains. They're smudges to hell and back.
I know the Maiko for this one is blonde instead of a brunette. I don't know why. She just is.
So sometimes you can just tell by completely like not doing any research and then heavy looking that you can tell. So here's a Snow Miku, or Sakura Miku, where she's very much red.
Yeah.
And
her eyes are big.
Yeah. So a different sizing proportion. They did get the base right, which is surprising because sometimes they don't.
That looks like it would just be like a special, like they'll try to pass it off as a special edition and try to collect all the different colors of it.
Yeah. So sometimes you can just tell from the different pictures. If we have time at the end, I'm going to ask to see if you can use these tips to decide which one's real or not. So here we go. Here we're going to get into my favorite really bad Android. Okay, so here we have Eren Yeager from the really popular series Attack on Titan. When the series came out, it was blown up. A lot of figures were made, so there's a lot of bad ones for Attack on Titan. So if you want something fun to do in your hotel room, look up those. But, you know, the thing about Eren is, you know, from day one, beautiful blue ocean eyes, right? You know, blue. Apparently the memo didn't catch to this company because we get them. We get red, cross-eyed Eren. You look at him and he's not looking back at you because he's screaming. The art for the boxes is just the promo poster taken and he has butter knives for his gear. Those aren't killing anything. You know. The lines are every which way. He doesn't even have the scout regiment or the training like printed on it. His shirt is
Kind of
really
looks like
low.
he has like boots.
Half of his collar is popped because he's just feeling it. Oh yeah. Oh, I love this. I'm showing this because this is the fun part. This is so bad. I would fill an entire display case with this. Yeah, we'd buy these. I would buy 50 of them. Alright, next time. These are these are a lot heavy on Nendroids, but scale models are also bootleg. So this is another thing too. This is the real one of the Sakura Miku. This one was actually packaged with a magazine, and it was a partnership that Good Smile did with this magazine company. So this is the real box. It does look really weird though in person. I have this one because it's just a weird big black box with a magazine in front. The sides are black, doesn't have anything on it, and on the back it has a couple pictures here and there that are good, but you're just kind of like, that's not typically a figure box I'd go for. But however, this is the bootleg, and the bootleg, it looks more like this one actually has an open window so you can see it. However, she's like really like white pink, and she's not really that translucency.
Also, her arm looks like it's broken like her hand.
But yeah, so this is like, again, with the artwork that's going through this thread, it is the actual figure. So I've seen this one faked a lot, and a lot of people think this is the real one, but it isn't. So again, if you're looking at my figure collection, this is the one that you should be going for, and it'll tell you if there's ever a partnership like this, and the box doesn't traditionally look like it's
it'll
supposed to.
tell you where it comes from, like magazine, special or whatever.
So this is something to definitely look at. And now we're gonna get into the big one. So this is the real one. Everybody's face stay nice. This is a hot commodity waifu we got here, and she's great. She's lovely. I haven't seen the show, but I like her merchandise. And so one company decided, let's make a bootleg. However, we got
something went horribly wrong.
So we got Saber and we get Saturn. Which, if you see, the paperclip doesn't come with a sword like that. So the owner felt so bad, made it a sword out of a paperclip.
It's a very nice paperclip sword.
It is. Very good detail on that. However, nothing else is. Personally, let's see how it compares to the actual one, because this is more known. So here's them comparing side by side. It dwarfs in comparison. There's nothing close about that. And here's a close-up of the face again. This one's beautiful. Again, I would own 50 of them.
Oh my god, yes, I would buy these.
And also, when this came, the internet blew up. So we have unofficially all of these things, which I will explain. It has an official fan club on my figure collection net, which you can join. Which they post a lot about it, and look forward because everyone wants one. This is great. This is a great mistake. Because sometimes when they're so bad, man, they're just good. They're good. There's also been this lovely cosplay done of it. It's beautiful, and as well as the one on the bottom, it's so known that apparently an unofficial Fate Stay 9 magazine in China decided to get a whole bunch of them and give out for whatever month that they published. Every person who subscribed to them got their own Saturn. Yeah. So that was theirs. Alright, fine figures. So this is the good, the meat. You know the figures that are out there. You know what you're looking for. You know what you want. So what you're going to do is now you're going to take this, you know how to look for them, and you're going to apply that into the real world. So the first one I have is Good Smile Company. Yeah. This is honestly the big, the good. The Good Smile is one that does all the printing, like they do all the sculpts, they do really, like all the official figures that you see, Figmas or Nendroids, they're all going to come through here. And they have a website for both information, which is on that slide in the beginning, as well as their shop. They also are really good about notifying you what bootlegs are out there of their products. Yeah. That's also on the information slide, which I'll put up again if you guys need it, where you can look, and there's an entire forum dedicated to talking about, hey, this guy's, someone got a hold of our thing, and we're going to, tell you about we found this bootleg. They also do pre-order giveaway bonuses, so if you go through them, it's going to be great. You do, I'm pretty sure, they usually only do EMS shipping, but with some bigger figure items, if you're looking to get bigger scales, there is a beautiful Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura that came out, and she is $250. I pre-ordered it, so goodbye to me in June. But that one, if they get really large, sometimes they will do free shipping for overseas, which is awesome. They're all officially coming. They make it, they distribute it, so everything by them guaranteed 100% real. We have Ami Ami next. Ami Ami's fantastic. Another one recommended to me by a Good Smile booth at ASEN. They are a great site to buy. They work hand in hand with the companies that do distribute it, all these figures. You can buy merchandise and everything that sometimes Good Smile won't list.
You can get video games there too.
Yeah, you get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Ami Ami is like a godsend.
Just for the record though, Ami Ami does close on every major Japanese holiday. And so their customer service is down. They have a really good English-speaking customer service. I've talked to them myself. But they do close on every single Japanese holiday, so there are times where you can't get a hold of them. But they usually post like the week before, hey, for all our Western people, we'll be closed this next week or on Tuesday of this coming week or whatnot. So
can I also say Ami Ami is best for pre-ordering because sometimes after a figure is released, Ami Ami will just sell out right away. Yeah. So like if you're looking for something that's been released for a while, chances are Ami Ami's probably going to be sold out of it.
And they really
it's really good for pre-orders.
Also, you don't have to pay until they ship it. Yeah, they don't pay until you ship it. They also tell you, unlike if you're going to order from Good Smile, Good Smile, they'll take the money out, usually like withdraw it. Ami Ami, if you don't have the funds on you, they'll send you an email where then you click to pay, so don't immediately withdraw. So if you're someone who lives like pay to pay, like by paycheck, it's really good. Also, sometimes the pre-order options are cheaper than on Good Smile, although they don't offer the exclusive bonuses that Good Smile will, so you just kind of have to pick what you like. As well as this with AmiAmi, you can go to do a lot of different shipping options, so you don't have to pay the EMS like $20 shipping. You can do SAL, so it won't come in like the 1 week that you usually will with EMS. You can get it in 2 to 3 weeks. But I mean, if it's $20 or $3, I'm cheap. I'm going with the cheap option. Yeah. So that's a really good one to look at.
They also did just start offering DHL shipping too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different shipping advice for it, and AmiAmi is really great about it. Solid site. If not, Crunchyroll also has a store. Many people probably know about Crunchyroll. It's really good for anime streaming, but they also have a store. They are really well known. They do a bunch of merchandise, and also if you're a premium member, you do get discounts on everything you order. I've only ordered there through once, but it did come pretty fast, and everything's good from them. So if you ever order from them, if you find you're going to watch some new shows, you can check out to see if they have. I'm not sure, I haven't really checked too much because I don't really go through them all the time, how their prices compare to other sites, but definitely they do offer some cool stuff, so you can look around there. Just try to see what's your best option when you're out there. So if any of those, Mandarake is my favorite site and is great. Mandarake is basically a Japanese equivalent to Disc Replay, where they have a bunch of people who give their secondhand stuff, but everything I've gotten there is like practically new.
Yeah.
And they are a giant chain all around Japan. They have multiple stores. Some even places have an entire mall of Mandarake stores just for like one specific theme. So they'll have like a K-pop store, a video game store.
Super Sentai.
Yeah, they have just specifically stores. And they're also very well known for their anime stores. So they have this site where you can go onto. It's completely in English. And you can look for all the figures that you want, type it in. You can search by like just all of the stores or just one general store. However, take it with a little bit of caution because when you're looking for stuff like this, all these top 4 are from different stores. So if you wanted like all of these items, you'd have to pay shipping for each individual because they're all from different locations. But I found stuff on here that's like extremely, like the product's been discontinued, so whatever's out there is out there. I found it and I've gotten extremely good deals. Yeah. It's amazing. Also, apparently they have really good, I haven't used it, but I was notified by Brian that their English customer service is actually fantastic. If you call in and ask, or like send an email and ask, they will like direct you, like, hey, you guys don't have this item, but I'm looking for this. They will try to track it down for you the best they can as well. I haven't used it, but if that's an option out there, that could seriously help if you're looking for an exclusive item that isn't on the sale market. So Mandarake is fantastic, and everything. I highly recommend them. I use them all the time. But if buying commercially for you or not, and they can't get a hold of it from the sellers, there's some Japanese exclusive items that won't go on sale on Good Smile or AmiAmi, and you'll have to go through a proxy service. This is kind of terrifying, so don't worry. I have 2 for you. First one is Samurai Buyer. I haven't used it, but I know a lot of people have, and it's very good. Both of these you have to make an account before doing it. So you get the shopping, as well as a unique feature for Samurai Buyer is they also allow you, by making an account, which is completely free on both, to go to Japanese Yahoo auctions, which is amazing, but you just have to play around because it does all Japan time. It doesn't notify you, so you just have to really stay on these sites. But I have used a proxy service before with an item that came out. It was the Eren Yeager Nendoroid Petite, and it was the Christmas edition that got packaged with the Japanese manga. Since it was a Japan exclusive item only, we were never going to get that on the site, so I went through a proxy service. You will have to pay an extra shipping fee because basically what the proxies do is they buy the item, send it to their Japanese residency, and then they ship it worldwide to you. So they have that extra fee plus a little bit incentive for them. However, they're very reliable if you're looking to get those hard items that we won't see on the stores. My other site is DD8CAG. This is the one that I've used, and they're great. They're a couple, really cute, a wife and husband, and they're based in Japan, and their mission is basically to just help everyone and get you the anime goods that you want.
For like a reasonable price.
Yeah, they're very very affordable. I've never had to pay more than I think like the extra $15 when if it's an item that I'll never see at the convention floor because
Or even on a listing here.
or on a listing, I definitely recommend using them. All you have to do is you click submit a request, type it out to them, they'll get back to you. The thing is, if you're going to use this proxy service, then check that site because again, they're not going to. It's not going to like send like connect to your email or anything. Be like, hey, you have a message replied. You're just going to have to look there. Click when you click that submit a request, it'll say like what you submitted. Click that and then you see it. But it's really great. I haven't run into any language problems, so I definitely recommend them as well if you're using them. We have
a special treat.
We have a special coupon code.
Yes.
We contacted Samurai Buyer and they got back to us. And if you use the code WEEABOO, then you get 50% off your next service fee. So they chose that for us. So definitely take some pictures. It's not a hard word to remind.
Yes.
And
Please make use of it.
Yeah, make use of it. It's great. They were kind enough to give us that. Yeah. And you can look up on there. You can find a whole bunch of stuff. Not even on just Samurai Buyer. You can find plushes. You can buy anything. It's super awesome. And that's actually good till December. So if you don't have any money because the con got you, well, guess what? You got till December.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. So thank you for them. That was super awesome. And thanks for those. So guys, make sure to take pictures. Use that. It's a good time. Thanks. And then that's really all I have to say. So thank you for coming, guys.
We're also running some other panels right after this one actually, and then on Sunday I have flyers, so I can either stand at the door and hand out people, or you guys can just come up here and grab them if you're interested.
Yes.
There's that.
I was gonna say, does anyone want to play the game of who can figure out if it's a bootleg or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's see.
Go fast. Edgar.
We're gonna flip through.
Get down.
Go back real quick. Your CDs again.
Rock it.
All right,
here we go.
Pull up. Let me see. I need one. Can you raise your hands? Who wants to go?
Yeah, who wants to get
Me.
Mario? Okay.
Mario, you want to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a fucking bootleg right there.
Yeah, but why? What's different?
Which one? Which one? The left or the right?
The left.
Okay.
There's a lot of smudges, the paint's a little shinier, and it has less detail. The head is less head-shaped.
I never noticed that.
It kind of looks like they tried to mold it on a nose to it.
Yeah, and it's all about that base.
The key difference in this one is the bases are completely different. That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
As well as, again, with the paint apps, the cheeks on the official are lighter. This is just a straight red. The leak has a different gradient on it. There's some hair shading that is completely missed. If you look closely at it, the paint lines are just so thick and pretty much a miss. But it does show you that there is some ones that look pretty similar from far away that you really can't tell.
So if you're like interested in buying some cheaper merchandise or you just think they're funny,
Go for it. I'm not going to